Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. IIU, the team, thank you. Dear Honorable, for this wonderful video that has welcomed us onto this special conference of July 30, 2022. I'm Dr. Kofi Aboti from Togo. I'll be helping with the moderation, and here with me is Ambassador Talenda Mbofu, who will be representing Dr. Patricia Gonde from Zimbabwe. And with Ambassador Talenda, who will be moderating today's conference. It's a privilege for me to welcome you all to IIU African Continent Virtual Conference of July 30, 2022 on new learning and teaching models organized by International Internship University African team. And this is the first global virtual university offering quality, accessible, and location-independent education around all the in the world. So very soon we will invite Professor Charles Eboria to give us the opening speech and also the opening prayer. After Professor's intervention, we will continue now with the different speakers. Today we have 7 different speakers, all of them well prepared, well chosen, and they are specialists in the domain, experts in education, and they will be sharing with us their speeches on the new learning and the teaching models. And all our viewers from Facebook, all those following us, please get ready because today's session will be very special. You could leave your questions, we will react to them before we end this program. So right away, now allow me to give the floor to our African heads, our honorable Professor Captain General Eboria Isiolo Charles from Nigeria. Dear Professor, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. We call upon the God the Father, call upon God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit to take over this arena, to sanctify every one of us, so that everything that we are going to do will work out to His glory. Providing the power of the living God to dwell upon every one of us and take possession over our section. This conference is a wonderful one, and we pray that the power of God will take over and everything shall be well and done properly through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Actually, I need to thank every one of you for this great opportunity. Most especially, I need to give good news to IIU. IIU is the world's first virtual International Internship University, and is the change. It brings the change, and is the revolution in the education. Kudos to our amiable founder, Piyush Pandita, our trustee, and all the board members and IIU family for this great opportunity to showcase Africa. May the blessings and the peace of God rest upon us both now and forevermore. Amen. Today, being the month of July 2022, IIU Africa will be discussing on the topic new learning and teaching models. New or modern teaching method is a learner center and activity-based teaching method, which is used to get learners fully involved. This approach requires or recognizes the learner as the primary reason for curriculum planning and teaching. Good teacher must have the following qualities. 1, skills in communication. 2, listening. 3, collaboration. 4, adaptability. 5, empathy. And 6, patience. There are 4 teaching models: behavior modification model, information pressing model, social interaction model, and personal model. But the best 5 teaching models includes student-centered discussion, making connection, increase autonomy, building relationship, and a focus on literacy. Student-centered discussion allows students to be at the center of their learning so as to engage them in deep thinking. Making connection, the teaching method used helps students to make connection to their learning. Real-life connection makes learning interesting and relevant for students. Increase autonomy. Autonomy helps engage and empower students. It allows them to have a voice in their learning. Building relationship. Building relationship is the classroom. In the classroom, it's extremely powerful for students' behavioral academic success. Teachers can help build relationship by meeting the students during office hour and creating team building projects like student video. A focus on literacy is necessary to improve student reading and provide students with reading material that interest them and help them to understand the joys of reading for pleasure. Stock your classroom with books. Young adults enjoy it. The importance of models cannot be overemphasized. Models help us to visualize a system as it is or as we want it to be. Models permit us to specify the structure and behavior of a system. Models give us a template that guides us in constructing a system. Models document the decision or the decisions we have made. Models allow instruction to provide rapid, individualized, and specific feedback to promote both better modeling and conceptual understanding. Teaching method helps students master the course and learn how to apply the contents in a particular context. Teaching method are the broader techniques used to help students achieve learning outcomes, while activity model are the different ways of implementing these methods. Teaching methods includes onlining, experimental learning, differential learning, blended learning, game-based learning, student-centered learning. Teaching styles can be seen in 3 B's. 1, direct, telling students what to do, thereby promoting learning through listening and following directions. 2, discourse, asking questions and listening. 3, delegate, empowering the students. Students are motivated by applying the following strategies: promoting growth mindsets over fixed mindsets, developing meaningful and respectful relationship with students, growing a community of learners in your classroom, establish high expectation and establish clear goals, and be inspirational. A teacher will be successful if they develop and utilize the following skills: relation building or builder. This is compulsory for teachers to establish positive, caring relationship with their students, and they will feel comfortable talking to them. Classroom management should be looked into. This is very important for learning to take place. Teachers should have a plan and keep it constant. Students do not respond well if a teacher is continually changing the classroom management system, organization, and time management. Teachers must have their material ready for the day before the day begins and keep an eye out on the time when teaching. Excellent communication skill is very valid. Communication should be clear and friendly, and know when to call a parent via email or make a call. Understanding of technology. Teachers should be proficient with technology and be knowledgeable in choosing one that will enhance learning and should be purposeful, authentic, increase student understanding, empathy, and compassion. Teachers should be aware of the trauma students encounter and to be able to recognize the sign of abuse or know how to spot when something might not be quite right in a child's life. Flexibility. This is needed because so many things can happen to cause changes to your schedule. Be willing to monitor and adjust so that you are making the most of any changes that come your way. Changes are out of your control. Lesson planning. Our graded level standard should be used to create engaging, creative lesson plan. Analyzing data and providing effective feedback. This is necessary to ensuring fidelity and that the data will be used to make informed decisions about students' collaboration. Teaching is not an isolated act. It is imperative that you work with your grade level or department team to have support and collaboration. And educators grows and learn from each other. Note, we are not carrying all the weight by ourselves. We should have people we trust and can help our cause. Every 21st century teachers should be acquainted with this teaching methodology. Traditional elements of lesson taught are reversed. Material are studied by the student at home and then worked on in the classroom to optimize time in class. This is what flipped classroom is all about, also called pedagogical approach. Key knowledge and skills are acquired by students through the development of projects that respond to real-life problems. This is what project-based learning is all about. Cooperative learning. This is a method teachers use to group students together, imparting learning in positive way. Gamification. This method of gamification came as a result of the evolution of video games, a current and future trend of the education industry. Problem-based learning. This increases student motivation, better knowledge sharing in challenging situations, improve solving abilities, and develop critical thinking and creative skills. Design thinking, apply STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths from industrial designers and their unique method to solve problems and satisfy the need of their clients. It helps to identify with greater accuracy the individual problem of each student and generate in the educational experience the creation and innovation towards the satisfaction of others, which then become symbiotic. Thinking-based learning, developing thinking skill beyond memorization, and in doing so, developing effective thinking on part of the students. Competence-based learning. All learning methodology have the acquisition of knowledge and the development of skill and the establishment of work habits as their main goal. Note, the new teaching model for the challenges of 21st century starts from manifestos, from the traditional school to the new educational model. The new teaching model must have the following learning focus. We look at creativity, innovation, and look to the future. Creativity allows you to find better solutions before anyone else. Innovation allows you to stay ahead in the market. If you don't innovate, you will lag behind those who do. Look to the future. The world is changing at breakneck speed. If you don't know how to adapt, get away, because the future is going to crush you. The new teaching model for the challenges of the 21st century must have learning experience, because schools are the level or personal development, not the temple of knowledge. Also, learning the contents and challenges are very vital. Content, that is curriculum, making go beyond knowledge to actualize success. While the focus of challenges, we look at Scaling, we look at integrator, we look at inherent in learning, we look at systematic, we look at dynamic, we look at analytical feedback, we look at qualitative, and we look at developer and motivator. This is what we need in our new learning teaching model. STEAM principle: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It embraces the 4 C's identified as key in 21st century education: creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, and communication. STEAM help to foster a love of learning. STEAM skills are individual skills needed to do science, math, engineering, and those needed to use technology effectively, which include creativity, acquiring skill, math, science skill, critical thinking, engineering skill, and collaboration. After our great experts have given out their input, we will all go home fully fulfilled and happy. Thank you for listening. I appreciate every one of us. God bless us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Senior Professor Charles Siburia, African head and Nigerian country director of IIU. Thank you so much for this introductory speech, which gives us an insight into the topic, new teaching and learning models. This is very eye-opening and help us all to really know what today's conference is about and what we must be prepared to. So our various speakers are ready, and I do know they will give us the best for today's conference, and everybody will go very happy. But before we give the floor to our different speakers, allow me to introduce IIU to you. IIU, as you know, is the International Internship University, the most developed, the first of its kind, and this university is everywhere in the world. It's expanding rapidly. It's covering all of the fields, and learners are all happy. And are you willing to offer the best to all of us? Is organizing trainings and conferences regularly for all of the youth, teachers, and learners, for all of us to learn. So it is an honor for me to introduce the team IIU, the strong support of IIU with whom we're all working. So the inspiration of IIU is Sri Dandi Swai Ji Maharaj. We want his blessings and guidance in every endeavor of IIU. Trustees of IIU, our trustees are Mrs. Roshani Lal and Mrs. Anju Pandit. So our founder and the head, the backbone of this organization is Dr. Piyush Pandit. He is the visionary founder and the leader of IIU globally. He's the man behind all the successes of IIU, as we know. Our co-founders are Mr. Stephen, co-founder from Australia. We also have Dr. Satman, the Chaka, co-founder of IIU from UK. We also have Mona Angia, co-founder from Indonesia. In our executive board, we have Ms. Corina Suzia. Most of you will know about Corina and all her endeavor, her brave work in IIU. We have Dr. Kalaini Rayo. We have Mr. Nada Ratkovic from Croatia, and Ms. Nada Ratkovic from Croatia. Excuse me. We have Mr. Prakash Lal the Chaka from UK. Our President Council, we have Dr. Pratibha Mashra from India, is in the advisory board. We also have Dr. Satnam Dashka from UK, our honorary degree board. We also have Dr. Pratigo from India. He's the HR and the training, also country director of IIU India. We also have Dr. N.G. Mathu from India, our research and the development board. In our board of directors, we have Dr. Snigda Kadam, sorry. We also have Dr. Alicia White, Dr. Prachi Gore, and Professor Dr. Charles General Eboria Usioloch, country head and African head IIU. So you also must be curious to know more about International Internship University. The International Internship University is building a better and brighter future for all learners and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. IIU is metamorphosing the conventional education system by cutting down the additional costs and providing access to more than 1,000 courses and internship to the e-learners across the globe. IIU has been accredited and affiliated with the World Organization Education, WEO, and International Accreditation Organization, IIU, and collaborated with all the world top universities and education institutions through the platform of massive open online courses, that is MOOC. IIU provides various certificates, including diploma, graduation, post-graduation diploma, post-graduation courses, and honorary doctorates. Most of you must be familiar with our programs. IIU has received many accreditations as per international standard for its innovation, its vision, its creative ideas, research, and white papers publication. International Internship University, IIU, is building a better and brighter future for all learners and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners across the globe. So we have different programs in IIU. We have, for example, IIU WEC, which is the Women Entrepreneur Council. We also have IIU ISGC, International Student Development Council. Also, IYDC. Many of you are part of this, which is the International Youth Development Council, an active department of IIU. We also have IIU International Council for Educators. Now, talking about IIU WEC, it is a branch that's giving an opportunity to every woman on this globe to witness the uncultivated talent within her to be the successful women entrepreneur by giving IIU Women Entrepreneurs Council. Women's empowerment is empowering women in all walks of life. Dear women, be part of the International Internship University Women Entrepreneurs Council to recognize you as an entrepreneur. IIU, now talking about IIU ISGC, which is the nation's future depends on students, the youth. That's our belief. We strongly believe that the nation's future depends on students, which are the youth. So the Student Council helps to raise funds for schools, college-wide activities, including social events, community projects, helping students in need, and the school reform. Now, the IIU IYGC, which you all know about, youth comes but once in a life, according to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Youth is not defined by age or time. It is defined by your social and immature mind. As you could see, most of our speakers are young people who have a lot of ideas and a lot of experience to share with us. And an example here is Karishma, who has always been with us, full of talent and full of knowledge, and it's a blessing to have her with us. So IIU, is for all of our young people, bringing them together and empowering young people for the leadership positions they are all entitled to play. Knowledge and education are the basis of all things that can be accomplished in life. So it's important for you as young people to be part of IYDC in IIU. Finally, IIU ICE recognizes the contribution of educators all over the world in the field of education and welcomes them to change the lives of many more by imparting quality education and spreading knowledge worldwide. So Mr. Piyush Pandit says that together we will achieve more. We shall inspire each other to expand our minds and the perspectives, and always striving to explore new ideas and innovations for the betterment of our world. After the hearing about IIU Internship University's Council, you must be excited about today's conference, of course. If this is the case, then let's get started. And we thank once again our professor, our guide, our mentor, Professor Dr. Charles Eboria, who is our head and who has already given us an introduction of this topic. The topic of today is new teaching and learning models. And very soon, all our different speakers will be speaking one after the other, and we will be learning a lot from them. The IIU African Continent Virtual Conference or Seminar on Education System is one of the greatest initiatives by the International Internship University to help better understand the various dynamics in the education system and countries. So the IIU African Continent Virtual Conference or Seminar is aimed at bringing speakers from various countries within the African continent and abroad to speak on the various dynamics in the African education system. Today's event is on the special topic, new learning and teaching models. We will be witnessing the plethora of ideas and knowledge delivered by 7 different speakers. Our African eminent speakers will share their possible solutions on the education in the new normal and including practical ideas and how to tackle this. By the end, I'm very sure that we all will have many new competencies and the tactics that we can put into action right away. Our keynote speakers who will be sharing their ideas, their views and techniques, their ventures, and much more with us. I would like to give the floor now to our first speaker, but then allow me to introduce our first speaker to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the first speaker of the day is Dr. Karishma Mani, who is not to be introduced anymore because you all know about her. You know about this young leader, very passionate, very talented, who has a lot to share with us. Today, we hope she will be able again to deliver the best. But allow me to introduce her. Karishma Mani is the best anchor of Coach and Sundi film actress, who holds several awards for her different talents. She has been bestowed with 15 world records, believe me, and 700 plus international awards, as well as 23 doctorates from international countries for her God-gifted 2 beautiful colored eyes. And you already see that from her camera. These color of eyes are termed as congenital heterochromia. This is very scientific, as you know. She's also a model and a journalist who has worked with many media channels like GTPL, Live News, etc., many more. And now she's an editor-in-chief of Incredible News. Karishma Mani is truly blessed and a gift of God for India, and as well as an inspiration for many other women in India. And in our African conference, we know it's a blessing and it's a joy for us to have Karishma. Yeah, Karishma, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Coffee, and my honorable brother. Greetings to Dr. Charles Eboria Yusiolo, and to all present over here, to this wonderful lady who is also with us. Hello, and good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, whatever it's your time. Hello to all. And I'm highly obliged to be a speaker and part of this beautiful university IIU, and be part of this conference, which is developing education worldwide, and which is spreading education worldwide. So I'm highly obliged to contribute with some of the views with this education part. So moving back to the topic, it's like new teaching and learning models, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so like I would just start with a quote, that a teacher is a compass that activates the magnet of curiosity, of knowledge and wisdom. So how a teacher plays an important role in the education of child, and how what she should do to develop new teaching learning models, and to provide a good teaching among students. But before that, I have a view that everyone is going through a new technologies, new inventions, new curriculum, new activities, new education system. But when the life when the schooling gets over, when the education gets over, or when the degrees get over, there is only one thing we learn, that is the basic things in education. Like, if for example I'll take a subject like maths. So we have been learning so many things in maths, like geometry, algebra, and sin, cos, theta, and so many of the things we have been learning. But we are not learning the basic calculation, or we are not making the base of the education so strong that it would be helpful in our near future too, or when we grow up. That base should be so much strong that it can be helpful. Majority of the people in India, I would say, are lacking, or are very weak in mathematics subject. Okay, so I think the basic concentration should be on the basics, to how to strong the base of the education, how to strong the basics of education, how to strong the basic of each and every subject. If I talk about grammars in English, okay, so you will find the majority of grammar portion very weak, even if we speak very good English. But then too, you will find our grammar portion very weak sometimes. So all these things are being included in the basics of the subject. So I believe every time, in each and every student, when the students gets upgraded towards different standards, like from first to second, second to third, the basics should be always there with him or her, so that it can be helpful to him or her in the future when he grows up, when he works with. Still you can see like people, those who are weak into mathematics subject, or different kinds of subject, they do not have that much of strong basics, strong calculations, that they calculate easily. You have to use calculators in front of shops and everything. So I believe even the new teaching model should include the basics every time, because the basics are the pillars of each and every subject, or pillars of education. Regarding education or new teaching models, nowadays the technology after COVID has been so advanced that everyone is using a medium through YouTube and everything. But the thing is, this new medium has been, losing the interest of the books and all. So one should, teach or train students to, encourage students to read more and more books, because what knowledge the book gives, no one, or no computer, or no YouTube, or no something can give. No technology can give knowledge as much as the books can give. So more emphasis on reading habits should be also given to students, and it should be, even nowadays I have been observing that teachers in the classroom, or are just using some YouTube mediums, or just using some technology or smart classroom, and they are showing the students to do this and this, and then it's finished. So everything should be read and understood in details, and also the bookish knowledge should be also adapted in the students, because it's always said that books are our best friends. So this bookish knowledge, or the habit of reading, or that knowledge from the books have also been adopted by the students, and the teacher should encourage them to read more and more books, and to gain more and more knowledge from the books, as well as from the digital medium too. The knowledge is good, it's interesting, but totally it also has a side effect that it ruins sometimes our eyes, and our brain started feeling dull sitting continuously on YouTube, WhatsApp, or computer. If you begin observing this in your even personal life, that if you sit for more than every time, or continuously for 12 or 13 hours, or something on continuously on mobile, then your head will start paining, or you will also feel dull. So it's like the habit of mobile should be less, and habit of reading books should be more in this new teaching models. And after this new education policy of 2020, many of the curriculums have been changed. Now there are more of competitive exams, which are very good actually, and they increase your knowledge as well. But the problem with the competitive exam is they are somewhat caste wise, some category wise, and the passing marks are not equal. So it really creates the frustration or lack of interest in giving such exams, because they are being divided. I don't know the education system of foreign or other countries, but I'm particularly talking about the education system of India, as I'm representing India. So it also causes the lack of it also causes the frustration among the students, and they get least interested to study. And also the competitive exams, the marks are being divided some category wise, like ST, SC, OBC, other backward classes and all, and different passing marks categories there. It's not same for all. But in education, there has to be a rule that education and the passing marks should be same for all. Education is basic, is right of fundamental rights. If we're talking, then there is right to education, rights of equality. So there should be no biasness in the mark system and all, and there has to be one passing marks for all the category, whether it is other backward classes, ST, SC class, or general class. So there should be one passing marks and one category of passing. And other thing, if you really like go to families who are working as a government employees, then they generally face the problem of transferring from different cities. It also ruins the education of the child, and the child gets disturbed. In other state, wherever he goes, he has to repeat the same class. So that system should be avoided, and to be one curriculum all over, and one method to teach all over. So it would be be more, interesting, and students will not miss the opportunity, or they would not face any kind of difficulties if the syllabus is one. And however, based on this technology, one has to make the things, or by using by teaching aids and all, one can still make the class more interesting. But nowadays no one does this all. I remember when I was doing my B.Ed, so we had lots of exercises, whether to show the teaching aids, some models, some demonstration to students and all. But after COVID, digital education has been so much into existence that everything teacher owns the smart class, and she started showing. So it also lacks interest, because the same things every time lacks interest. So one should adopt different things, different technologies. Like even digital education is okay. Reading books should also be emphasized. Teaching models, demonstration should also be shown to students to develop their interest in the class, and to develop their attention in the class. And other thing, there are lots of like, I think after COVID or before that too, there are lots of special cases you are finding in child. Like some childs are autistic, some childs are different. So for such child, special classes should be arranged. They should be sent to special classes as well. They should have the right to sit with other children like normal children, but there should also be the different special classes arranged for those children from the school, in order to help them to grow and develop a good education. So such type of things should be adopted into the education method. And I think if such criteria are developed in our education system, we can give a more wonderful society, or more wonderful knowledge and wisdom to the students. Now nowadays, I have been observing that students are lacking very low attention after COVID. And after COVID, everything has been changed. You find the least results among students. They are not getting topic. They have lost interest. Everyone is being getting weak and frustrated. The examination practices has been lost by the students at times. At scarcity of thing rises again, after COVID, the situation. So you can planning online different kinds of tests, so that they remember the examinations, and their mind gets trained with the giving such exams. And also, so I think such type of things, if we adopt in our technology, or if we adopt in our education system, we can give the world a better education, or better society, or better knowledge and wisdom will be gone among the kids, I think. So that's what I feel, that new teaching learning models, if they adopt such teaching learning models, and make the class more interesting, make the child focus towards education, make the child sincere towards education, and we can have a wonderful, knowledgeable society in our countries. With this, I would conclude my points, and hand over the platform to Dr. Coffee, who has been wonderfully introduced me. So Dr. Coffee.
Yes, Karishma.
Yeah.
I'm here. Thank you so much. A big thank you to Ambassador Dr. Karishma Mani for the brilliant presentation. It's so enlightening, instructive. We learned a lot from it. You reminded us again of the fact that education is a fundamental right to all, and we must do all our best to develop and implement this teaching model. But also, you reminded us of the sustainability of our actions. We must make them sustainable for the future generation. You even share your experience when you were a student at the bachelor level. That's incredible. It's so nice to listen to you, to learn from you, and to receive this knowledge from you. We hope that by the end of the conference, we'll have some time, because we allow some time for interaction. So we hope questions will be left on our Facebook page, and we will be able to read some of them so that you speakers will react to them. And I know you like interacting with our listeners. So I do hope they will be leaving some reactions and questions on our Facebook page. Thank you again, Arishma Mani, for the wonderful and brilliant presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we'll move to our next speaker. He's not online yet, so I will move to the next one. When Confidence is online, I will introduce him. So now, let me introduce you the next speaker. I will even give the floor to my co-moderator. If he's online, I think he has some connection issue. Oh, he's online. Ambassador Talenda Mpofu. We are now with the speaker number 4, Dr. Yava Kojo Kluche. Please, could you introduce him? He's not available, but he has a speech that I will be giving. So please introduce him. Dr. Biava Kojo Kluche.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Kofi. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our speaker number 4, Dr. Biavi. Well, Dr. Biavi is indeed a distinguished scholar, a lecturer, an advisor, a motivational speaker with over 10 years of teaching and research experience in Africa. He is also an independent consultant. Is also currently working as a senior lecturer of literature and language at the Faculty of Arts and Humanities of the University of Kara in Togo. He serves as the Dean of Studies at Institute Superior das Languages Affairs, the first business and translation school in Togo. He also serves as an associate head of arts and humanities master's programs at the University of Cairo. Previously, he worked as an assistant professor.
Let me let him know.
Assistant professor at the University of the Department of English. He also obtained his BA, MA from the University of Kara and his MPhil and PhD from the University of Lome. He has just been granted an LLB also at the University of Kara. He has published 17 articles in reputed national and international peer-reviewed journals. He is the current president also of the Association of Lecturers who set to drive young people from poverty and ignorance. He is also the CEO of Biavi Expertise in Togo. Over to you, sir.
Dr. Kofi, are you not around?
Yes. Oh, sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much, dear moderator, Ambassador Talenda Mpofu, for this brilliant presentation. As I said it before, Dr. Biava Kojo Kluche is not available, but he has sent his presentation, so I'll be reading his presentation in a short while. So how new learning and teaching models have revolutionized knowledge acquisition and dispensation. That's the title of his presentation, how new learning and teaching models have revolutionized knowledge acquisition and dispensation. The notion of new has much to do with the concept of discovery and all that has to do with the strange or the uncommon that breaks with the tradition of settled practices. The introduction of new learning materials in universities in the early days of this century, analogy calculator to the scientific calculator and then to the computer. This has a break with the former practices, which consisted in taking notes, memorizing, and having presential requests from the students and the teachers. Now, the internet has brought another dimension to learning by introducing the distant learning and or the online studies, breaking up the tradition of physical presence. This has introduced new norms and approaches to related to learning, the controls and the evaluation to certification. Point one, concerning the new learning approaches, lecturers and students, apart from the physical libraries where they make researches, is that virtual one with its particularity to be easy access to. There is no need to move away from home to have the right documents. The bibliography is enough for researches. The learning has become open to people. Everybody can have access to learning without space and the time barrier. The needed course, if not available in one's country, it can be taken 1,000 miles away without any need to travel. No need for physical rooms. This easy access has turned laboratories to benefit from international findings in due time and also has enhanced the collaboration between researchers all over the world without space barriers. Mobile phones, computers, and even TVs and radios are useful to convey messages and to learn. Even illiterates will be trained in their field of business through the use of audio videos from YouTube, Meta, and many other software adapted to every category of learners. In a nutshell, illiteracy is being reduced significantly and can no more be defined as the lack of ability to read and write. For even the illiterate can be trained and certified by renowned training organizations. Point two, control and evaluations. The former principle to have students in a building or in a classroom during a period of examination purposes is being revisited. Take-home assignments, exercises, and researches works have taken up the upper hand, as people can register and follow classes wherever they like and wherever they are. They can also take examinations online and send their findings online for evaluations. Whatever the age of the student, they can have access to the needed teaching without complex and have a commendable skill which can be evaluated and certified. Point three, certification. This aspect is all about the recognition of the skill of a learner, dropping progressive ways of certification nowadays. IT materials, evaluations, and the certifications are issued easily to trained people. I mean, in this context, that the fact that university graduation is no more the only one that gives access to certifications. People can be certified is just a course and in a series of courses needed just for their businesses. and these certifications are spread over time. These certifications are as well recognized by many training organizations all over the world, which are subjected to a periodical follow-up to ensure the quality of the courses and by ricochet the certificates issued. Then as a conclusion, all in all, it can be argued that the IT devices have brought a new trend in learning and teaching processes which are so appreciated. There is need to cultivate a level of responsibility within the learners so that the IT material coupled to internet should be used for chat instead of learning, seeing that both systems are installed in the devices used. So thank you so much. This is the presentation, the speech of Dr. Biava Kocho Kluva. Moderator, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kofi. Would like to thank
We can't
Dr.
hear you,
Biavi in
Ambassador
absentia for.
Talenda. We can't hear you, please.
You can hear me. Okay. Can you hear me now?
We still can't hear you. We can't hear you, Ambassador Talenda Mpofu. Something might be wrong with your microphone.
My
I
mic
can
is
hear
on.
you.
You can hear me?
Yes. I'm sorry,
Okay.
but yes, we can hear him.
Sorry?
Yes, I can hear you. Ambassador Tatenda, I can hear you. And
Okay.
I think there is some network issue on Dr. Coffee's side. You can, once you leave the meeting and join up again, so that issue will be solved. I suppose so. Sometimes it happens.
Okay. Okay. Let me leave and come back.
Can you continue, Dr. Kofi? Let us manage our time. Dr. Kofi, can you continue?
Hello, can somebody hear me?
We can hear you.
But sorry, I don't know what's wrong. I can't hear you.
Can you continue? Who is the next speaker? Let the next speaker come on board. Introduce the next speaker.
Oh, that's bad. Hello.
Okay. Can everybody now hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much. As I was saying, would like to thank Dr. Biavi for an excellent presentation on learning on learning and teaching models. It was indeed an enlightening presentation. Now we'll move to our next speaker, our next distinguished speaker, Mr. Isaac Owosu. As an introduction, he is a licensed teacher with over 10 years teaching experience. He taught in Ghanaian curriculum and British curriculum schools as well, and taught students privately. He is a Ghanaian. He lives in Accra, Ghana, and presently is a teacher at Mother Providential International School in Accra, Ghana. He is a Christian and from an Ashanti and Brolo family. His hobbies include learning, reading, writing from the internet, watching interesting television programs, and listening to interesting radio programs. He is a scientist as well as a researcher and also single. I would like to give the floor to to Mr. Isaac Owasu. Over to you, sir.
Everybody. Good morning, African Head, Professor Chaplain Charles Iboria, fellow keynote speakers, moderators, and all viewing this presentation. My name is Isaac Owusu-Obeng, and I'm from Ghana. As new learning and teaching models. Learning and teaching has evolved over generations, and in this age, it is unique. There have been various learning and teaching techniques. The teacher writing notes on the board, and the learners read the notes and copy them down into their notebooks. Learners reciting multiplication times table before class begins. Learners reading from textbooks and answering questions about what they read. In these types of alternative new methods of learning, education that takes place outside of the standard lecture and note-taking process, that is extremely common across secondary and even developmental schooling. The Montessori method of education is another approach targeted towards younger children, where students have freedom in their activities and work with natural materials rather than instruction. Learning with materials improves their creative skills. There is nature walk, where learners learn from their environment with their teacher, seeing real-life examples of what they learned in class. There's learning from watching videos. The learners are shown videos of what they read in their textbooks. There's where the learner makes the class, the teacher rather, makes the class an interactive one. Learners really like this because they get the chance to speak and express themselves. We must take note that there is no threat or force here. Another popular form of alternative learning is the Hackness method, originally developed at Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire. Hackness learning consists of students sitting in an oval-shaped desk configuration, discussing ideas with one another. A teacher usually starts off the discussion with a prompt, but stays out of the dialogue with minimal intervention. Hackness encourages students to come with ideas on their own, but also learn to learn from others. There's also the individually based on what they learned in class. This brings out the students in ingenuity and creativity. There's group project work, where students do a project work as a group. This seeks to promote teamwork as they answer some questions based on what they learned in class. These teaching and learning techniques seek to involve the learner and the teacher in an environment of learning that does not push the whole idea of education to the teacher. The learners learn as they do their project work and group work. So it becomes a learner-teacher-based type of education. In conclusion, I want to mention some other student-focused learning strategies. One is gamification. Classroom gamification is an effective way to take a child's love for play and turn it into love of learning. Two, convergent and divergent thinking learning. project-based learning. 4, experiential learning. 6, inquiry-based learning. 7, learning. We also have new teaching models. Where we have one teach, one alternative teaching, station teaching, team teaching. The new learning and teaching models are good and have come to help the learner and the teacher grow and develop. Can be practiced in the classroom, and some are done outside the classroom, which gives a versatile approach to learning and teaching. The definition of education is to grow and to develop. So if alternative learning does that, then that's perfect. The old models of learning and teaching can be blended with the new models. Learning through classwork, homework, as well as project works and group works will make learning and teaching rich. Mr. Chairman, fellow speakers, I would like to end here. I hope my presentation has been helpful to explain the topic. Thank you and greetings from Ghana.
Thank you so much, Isaac Oben. Dear moderator, you have the floor, please. Dear moderator, Ambassador Talenda, we can't hear you. You are muted. You are muted, please. Unmute your device, please. Ambassador Talenda.
Can you continue, Dr.
Okay. It's
time. The time is not here.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, I think there's a sort of communication. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Isaac Oasu, for such a brilliant presentation, as you have enlightened on the various initiatives and alternatives in the new learning and teaching models. And next in line, we would like to invite Dr. Adi. Dr. Adi, as a way of introduction, Dr. Adi is a teacher researcher at the University of Kara, former head of the Department of English, former head of the English Master's Program, former scholar of the French government from the year 2014 to 2016, and his specialty is in African literature of English expression and dedicatics of the English language. Dr. Adi, is over to you, say.
Okay. Do you get me, dear speakers?
Okay,
Yes,
move on.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Morning, everybody. Morning, the board members of the IIU. Morning, Dr. Abuchi, the co-moderator. Unfortunately, I don't master the name of other speakers. I greet you all and pray that God grants all and each one a good health, and that the IIU institution goes further in the future for the benefits of Africa and the rest of the world. I am Dr. Adichi Labalo from the University of Kara, and my communication is entitled New Teaching and Learning Models in African Universities, a case study of the University of Kara, Togo. Teaching methods have varied across time and space. and what is more according to the means available. In Africa especially, traditional teaching and learning methods have progressively given space to modern and new technological means of teaching and learning. One most important way of teaching and learning is the use of technology and internet connection in Africa, which was not previously the case in pre-colonial Africa. With COVID-19 and its subsequent consequences, so new teaching and learning models have been introduced in Africa, in African universities, and especially at the University of Kara. And these means are online courses and evaluations. That is, students and teachers not needing to meet in one classroom. That is a face-to-face meeting, but can meet like the way we're doing right now. And this cancels the barriers of distance. And we also have video and audio conferences. There have been the creation of some facilities to have access to Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi, or if you can call it that way. The use of Androids and iPhones, computers by both teachers and students. I'm not going to be very long because when we talk of new teaching and learning methods, we mean the introduction of technology as far as Africa is concerned, because in Africa and before colonial events, technology was not known, and we use traditional method like gathering children under a tree, or let us say giving them homeworks, or counting some stories for students to learn some moral lessons. So in Africa, and especially in Togo, new learning methods turn around, the introduction of technology and internet use, but the use of internet, which implies computers, Android, and so on and so forth. As a conclusion, new teaching and learning models explored so far make education more accessible for individuals through Africa and the rest of the world. The major result of our communication is that new teaching and learning methods constitute a guarantee for a sustainable education. Thank you, dear all.
Thank you, Doctor, for a brilliant education on new learning and teaching models, especially enlightening us on how, as Africa, we can teach the learners. Our next speaker it seems not to be available. Dr. Kofi.
Yes, Ambassador Talenda.
I can't get hold of our speaker, number 7, Dr. Gerard, Professor Gerard. Is he available?
Professor Jared Kama Onyari. Is he online? I'm not sure. Please, Prof, we haven't heard from Professor Dr. Jared Akama Onyari. So I think we'll have to continue without him then.
The next person.
Okay. Yes, in fact, the last speaker on the line, Mr. Confidence Ajay promised to send a video which he hasn't sent yet. So we don't have.
So round it up with your own speech. Round it up with your speech. Then Dr. Emena will now give the vote of thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you again to the IIU international team for this opportunity they give us in Africa to be organizing every month our monthly conference, which is a very great event, a wonderful one, and is helping young people here in Africa. And I can testify that it's helping me personally and my students here in Togo. So our topic of today is on new learning and the teaching model. Various speakers have already tackled this issue. We are in a fast changing world. The 21st century is offering us various trends and innovations, and all individuals are to develop and design new ways and models to cope with the changes. Please, we would like everyone connected to mute their microphone if you don't have the floor, please. If you don't have the floor, please mute yourself. Dr. Adi, can you please mute yourself? Dr. Adi, can you mute? Can you mute? There's a noise, some noise coming. Okay, thank you so much. So due to the trends and the changes in our century, all of us are called upon to adapt, to design new ways and models in order to adapt to the changes. And especially as educators, we have to develop new ways and models to cope with the changes. First, with the advent of IT, information technology, especially computer, many teachers found it difficult to adapt to use these tools.
Hear you. Hello, Dr. Mina. Can you hear me?
I'm here, Sir Charles.
Hello.
Hello. It's my privilege. Hello, did you hear me? I'm audible.
Hello.
Yes. It's my privilege to give vote of thanks today. Thank you, Sir Charles. Congratulations for this initiative. Country Director of Nigeria, the head of African continent, the Honorable Professor Dr. Chap General Eboria Oshilo Charles, and great team Africa. I was deeply impressed by your speeches. We live in times when the information explosion requires permanent change and innovation in education. The success of education in the contemporary society is based on the adaptation of the educational approach to the individual self-training needs of students. The central idea is that every child is unique, and its uniqueness represents the starting point in all decisions. taken with the primary purpose of the help him fully and harmoniously develop in his personality. The generation of children and the adolescents who are now on the school bench have to cope in the future of new challenges, different from those in which they were prepared. For this reason, the school must train students with lifelong learning skills in accordance with the requirement of the labor market and with the challenges in society. For students, the school of the future must promote a quality education and be focused on value in which the students believe in which to find themselves fulfilling to condition fundamental from the point of view, their view. The school of the future must please them and be effective. The priority of education is the computerization, the digitalization, the educational software represented by the programs informatics, specially sized in the perspective of teaching specific topics, which is a view of necessity. The use of computer in the instructive educational process facilitates the achievement of didactic goals and educational ideas. The instructive educational process must be designed, let's say, something like that, and carried out in such a way as the confidence the students to cherish your own national heritage, to receive the origin contributors of any nation, the modern civilization, and preparing both students and teachers to understand the value of diversity and independence of mind. It's very important. Education is the determining factor of psycho-individual development of the person. It systematizes and organizes the influence of the environment, develops the personality. Nelson Mandela said, and I love this quote, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And it's so true. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the entire IIU team, Mr. Piyush Pandit, and all the respected members of the audience for your support and for being with us today. Education has no border. Education unites us. Thank you, Sir Piyush Pandit, for this great platform, your involvement and your support. Indeed, you show us every day that the education has no borders, that we should be mentors to the young people of the next generation. Education unites us, unite our heart, no matter what in different corner of the world we are. Because Sir Joseph Obeg, I hope I pronounce okay your name, mentioned in Montessori pedagogy, we in Romania, we promote this. I will tell you my favorite words of Maria Montessori. Let us not educate children for today's world. This world will no longer exist when they are big. And nothing allows us to aim like their world is going to be like. Then let them to adapt. Let's teach them to adapt. Don't forget, IIU is the change. IIU brings the change. IIU is the revolution. Thank you so much for this honor, Sir Charles, and congratulations again for this initiative. Great initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Able Dr. Emina, the IIU President, Women Council. I appreciate you, all what you said. I bless God for you. God will come to strengthen you and give you enough grace to come to work stronger. Thank you very much. I appreciate every one of all the moderators. I appreciate you. All the listeners, I appreciate you. I pray that everything we have said so far, we'll be able to put them in practice. And God will give us the grace to put everything in practice and do everything well. Irrespective of the challenges we are facing in our various countries, education must move on. Education must be visible, and education must be properly set. And I thank God for IIU. IIU have been doing a lot, and I appreciate God for our able founder, Piyush Pandit, sir. He has been a very nice friend and a brother, and an excellent and a person who need to be emulated. And I pray that God will come to strengthen him and strengthen trustee, all the members. God will come to bless every one of us and give us his graces so that we come to remain effective. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thanks.
Thank you all. I'm so sorry. My connection played a bad trick on me and it was difficult for me to give all my speech. But I think you got the main of it. And I thank everyone, Professor, the International Office, and all the speakers. My colleague, the moderator, Ambassador Talenta Mbofu, thank you for your assistance. Thank you all for today. We hope next month to meet again for more. Thank you.